Hello, Believe Nation. I am not feeling well today. Oh, Nina came by. I am not feeling well today. I've got a giant headache for some reason, but I still need to make videos. I still got to get them up for you. It's been, 11 years almost of making. Is it 11 years, Nina? It's been a long time of making content, and videos go up every day, no matter what. And so I'm going to do a little different format for this week of filming because I'm not on my A game. We're going to play a clip, and I'm going to react to it. And hopefully you guys still find some value. So today let's learn from Simon Sinek and how to find external courage.
I wake up every morning.
Entspresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
I've learned that courage is not some deep internal fortitude, that you don't dig down deep and find the courage, That courage is external. Courage comes from the relationships we have with those around us. A partner in business, a personal relationship, our team, right? That's why we want to build good cultures, because our team believes in us, which gives us courage to do difficult things. A trapeze artist, a world-famous trapeze artist, would never try a brand new death-defying act for the very first time without a net, right? Now, all that courage, they're the world's greatest trapeze artists, but they need something external before they do something very dangerous.
Yeah.
And it's the same for the rest of us. So when we have someone who says, I believe in you, I got your back, even if this doesn't work out, I'm here with you.
I'm not following that one as much as I probably should. Oh man, the joys of making content with a splitting headache. Courage. I think courage comes from doing difficult things. I think the trapeze artist wouldn't do it without a net the first time because I don't know that that's courageous. I think that's just stupid, right? I mean, there is a fine line between doing something courageous and being stupid. Even this, like making this video in a reaction mode while I have a big headache and not on my A game, I'm telling myself that it's courageous. You may not feel it, you may think it's stupid, you may have already, turned off. But for me, I'm telling myself this is courageous. Like you get to see me live process the video, and here, I don't fully understand or necessarily agree with the video, and I'm trying to process in real time while making content for you, and we're gonna put it up and release it as is. That's courageous for me. And I think it's more, what do you tell yourself? I think it is a deep internal game. I mean, you might look at my example that I just shared and think that's not courageous. It doesn't matter what you think for me, right? It matters what I think about me. This is totally an internal game. What you think is courageous, a lot of people are gonna say isn't. For some people, making their first video is courageous, and for other people, that's stupid. That's easy. For some people, getting on stage and doing your first speech is courageous, and for other people, that's just really easy. I remember going and learning dance classes. That was courageous at the start, but for some people, it's just super easy. So what you define as courageous is going to be different than somebody else, and what you reward yourself for being courageous for is going to be different than somebody else. I think there definitely is a line between, again, courageousness and stupidity. I mean, I'm filming content here from my condo. We can, show I'm high up here in the sky, and jumping from my balcony with a parachute is just stupid. It doesn't require courage. That's just stupidity. I shouldn't do that. But making videos and not giving up, even when I'm not feeling well, I'll take as being courageous. And so I think courage comes from doing difficult things. Don't be stupid, but most of the things that you're afraid of doing are not actually death-defying. Most of the things that you want to do are not doing a new trapeze show without a net. Most of the things you're afraid of doing are just disappointing people. You're afraid of judgment. You're afraid of failing in front of somebody else, right? We're not afraid of failing. We're afraid of failing in front of somebody else. That's most of the things that we're afraid of. And that's not a good enough reason. And I've tried to teach myself that if something is scary, difficult, or hard, or if I'm worried about somebody else's opinion, then I have to do it. To teach yourself to inoculate yourself against judgment. That if the reason why you're not doing it is because you might get judged, somebody might look at you a funny way, somebody might criticize you, that's not a good enough reason. And then that requires your courage to stand up and do something. And this becomes a really important mental game, because here's what's going to happen. And it's happened to me, right? When you get faced with a difficulty, like today is for me, you're going to have two competing voices in your head. You're going to have the voice that will be the afraid voice that will let you off the hook, that will say, you don't need to do this. So many reasons why you don't need to do this. You could just not release a video. You could just show the clip and not have your reaction. Everybody would understand. You've made so many videos. It's okay. And there's the scared voice that wants to keep you safe. Your brain wants to keep you safe. It's designed to keep you safe and practical and logical and not be courageous. Your brain does not make you courageous. It's the opposite. And that's constantly going to happen. When you're faced with a new situation, you're going to find the reasons. Your brain will take over and tell you the reasons why you shouldn't do it. Then there's going to be the other voice that tells you, no, you should go do it. This is your chance to show yourself what you're made of. That reason, that excuse that the other voice is telling you is just an excuse. It's one that you're buying, but it's just an excuse. In the moment, deciding between which voice wins is the rest of your life. This is going to keep happening over and over and over again. You're going to want to do something, you'll have the two voices. You're going to want to do something, you have the two voices. Which voice wins consistently will determine your whole life. And if you look back on the moments that you wish you had been more courageous and stepped up and showed up and tried the thing, even if it didn't work out, it's because you let the practical, logical brain side win. But you regret it. You wish you had done something more. And so in this example for me today, showing up, not letting the brain side win, not letting the safe voice win, and saying, go make content, even though it may not be your best, even though you're not quite sure what you're doing, go do it. And then patting yourself on the back and celebrating and saying, I'm proud of myself for doing that and being courageous. Whether anybody else thinks it's courageous or not, doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, at least for me, I think the only thing that matters is how you feel about yourself, not how other people feel about you. So it's a choice, it's to decide. It's a decision every time which voice is gonna win. And I hope you choose powerfully. Now we've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I wanna know, what's the situation you're feeling right now where you have those two voices? What's going on in your life where you feel those two voices are popping up, and which one are you gonna choose? Let me know, put it down in the comments below. And if you're still here watching and you commit to taking action after watching this video, instead of just watching video, you're gonna do something, give me a hashtag believe in the comments. I wanna celebrate you.
It's not enough to have a great idea and the focus and the conscientiousness to see it to fruition. You must have the strength and the resolve and the courage to pursue that idea even when the rest of the world thinks you're insane. Right? Time and time again, if you look at the stories of extraordinarily important entrepreneurs, there is almost always a moment when they are the only ones who believe in the value of what they're doing. You know, I tell in my book, the story of my book, David and Goliath, the story of Ingvar Kamprad, the guy who founds IKEA. And the crucial moment in the story of IKEA is when he faces a boycott from the other furniture manufacturers in Sweden, and he's about to go out of business. And in desperation, he moves his operations across the Baltic Sea from Sweden to Poland and sets up shop in Poland. And that's what IKEA is. IKEA is essentially furniture shipped flat made in Poland. That's the original elevator pitch for IKEA. What's interesting about that is he does it in 1961. At the height of the Cold War, at a time when East and West, communist world and free world are closer to outright war than at any other time in history, a guy living in the West, Sweden, crosses the pond to Poland, the Iron Curtain, and sets up shop. You cannot imagine what a controversial move that was. That would be like Walmart opening operations in North Korea. Literally, it's on that level of kind of eyebrow raising, you've got to be kidding me, who is this guy kind of thing. But he does it, and he persists, and he turns his back on all those critics. Why? Because he is a deeply disagreeable person. Didn't need people to agree with him, right? And that's how he's able to build IKEA into this extraordinary runaway success story. That's very hard to do. As human beings, we are hardwired to want the approval of our peers.
If you want to know how Simon Sinek masters his craft, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
I consider myself a student in all these things. Like, I don't even consider myself an expert in leadership or any of the stuff that I even write about.